Hello, Madristas. Welcome back to Let's Be Real podcast. Today I'm with the usual suspects. So we have Jacob and Javier. And yeah, don't mind Javier showing off with his wall full of jerseys that we have just a window and a and a door here and nothing. And Javier is here flashing tons and tons of jerseys. So yeah,
But are we
I
sure
know.
is it real? Like it could even be a virtual background.
I mean, that's true though, right? That's true actually. That's a very nice point, Jacob. But then anyways, we'll leave that to the tech guys to figure that out. Yeah. So okay, so today, before we dive into the preview of the Betis game at the weekend, it's the end of the transfer window today. So I think it's only right to pay respects to what happened and what didn't happen throughout the transfer window. And I think for us, like it was a window of regret, or I would say of disappointment rather, if regret is a very heavy word. And I don't know what was you guys' take actually. Back then we weren't able to talk with you guys about the whole Kylian Mbappe team, or as they say, PayPal team. So let's just start with Javier. Javier, what was your take on the Kylian Mbappe thing?
I mean, it was a disappointment, you know? The timing was wrong. The ways they're wrong. He played with us.
Yeah.
Maybe just itself, but I think it's a lot more, you know? I think it's the French government and also the Qatar government involved. This is not a normal transfer.
Yeah.
And the timing was wrong from the get-go, you know? A few days before the Champions League final was a blow. But we won the Champions League final and we move on, like we always do. Yeah, I'm sad he's not here, but watching Bini and watching Benzema, I think it's the current Ballon d'Or and maybe the next one. So
definitely.
Sad, yes, but Real Madrid always keep moving forward, so let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, nice point you have here. Actually, to be honest, I would feel so happy if Vinicius could win the Ballon d'Or before Kylian Mbappe does. I mean, that would be a whole different kind of satisfaction, man. To be honest, obviously, I think like Mbappe will still win the Ballon d'Or one day, but I mean, Vini winning before him will just be the perfect thing, man. To be honest, really.
But we have to consider the World Cup, you know.
Yeah,
if Brazil won the World Cup, it's a huge boost for Bini. I don't see Neymar being the next big thing. He has his time and he blow it going for PSG. So maybe with the World Cup, I see France and Brazil as both candidates.
Yeah, definitely, man. I totally agree with you. Like, I also have Brazil as my prime candidates, to be honest. Well, yeah, I don't actually value France that much, although they have a very good team. I think the internal politics of the team is so weird that it's difficult to to maintain for the tournament like the World Cup. I think they've had their time. They got down, worked together for once, and they won the World Cup at that time. So I think it's very difficult to replicate that again as well. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah. So Jacob, what was your take on the old Kylian Mbappe thing? Like, or were you just, yeah, it happened and it happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the latter because I'm usually a glass half full person unless I see the Comunicado official. Like I never believe anything that goes on in the classifieds or the news. So it was certainly a shock. I had put, like, if you were to ask me if Kylian Mbappe was coming, like even a year or 2 years back, I was gonna say definitely this season that it was happening. But yeah, it was certainly a blow. But because I had certainly low expectations. Like the transfer window for me, it turned out pretty average for me because if you think about it, because we didn't get Kylian Mbappe, do you think we overpaid for Tchouaméni just to keep him from going to PSG? So I think that was a chain reaction, and then we ended up losing Casemiro as well. I gotta say, like overall, like a pretty disappointing transfer window, but we did get rid of some players that were on the fringes. So mainly Isco, Marcelo, Bale, all of those guys left, all legends. And that was hard to watch as well. But, as Javier said, we got to move on.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw something controversial to you guys. Is Isco a legend? Has Isco done enough to be considered a legend?
For me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember the first season? You know, the La Décima season.
Yes.
It was a very nice fit, and I mean, he's Spanish, so the Spanish crowd always endorse Spanish players at Real Madrid to
Yes. Yeah.
succeed,
Yeah.
and he did. Then he goes to upside downs again, but I think the 2016-17 season, the
Exactly.
second
Yeah.
Champions League, the one with the Juventus final, he
Yeah.
was a key player, you know, a
Definitely.
key player. He maybe saved us from, I think, 2 or 3 games in the La Liga with a goal. And for me, that, and he starts, I think, 3 Champions League finals, 2 European championship. She started a lot of big games, you know. He was a top considered for Ancelotti and also for Zidane.
So
He
Zidane.
has his ruffle with Solari, and maybe Lopetegui tried to rescue him. I think that's the end of Isco, you know. When Zidane came back, he was over, but not because of Zidane, because of him.
I see. I see.
But as a legend, yes.
Jacob, your take?
I would say, yeah, I'm definitely gonna say Isco's a legend. He was more of a support player in his earlier seasons with us, but then he perfectly summarizes how important he was in the Juventus final, and then with the whole diamond, we had a total identity with the diamond, our fullbacks pushing forward, and Isco made all of that possible. He connected all the dots between our midfield, our defense, and our attack. So yeah, he was really important for that particular one season. But overall, he has been a really good player for us. He hasn't complained too much. But I would say he did let himself go in the last ending points of his career after Solari came on board and then just pushed him out of the team.
Valid. I see.
Well, Farouk, just to point out, I think that the rumors and the media said that he was have some things with her girlfriend. You know, he made her vegan or something like that, and just some bullshit. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he was so outside of the game, you know.
Yeah.
I consider Isco a very good player, but not a player who likes to play football, you know.
I see. That's a valid point. Actually, I also rate Isco very highly, but I just felt like the word legend might be a bit too heavy, because like in my opinion, like Isco has only been good for like a 15-month span in the total of his career at Real Madrid, max 15 months. So I think, like, you know, playing for 15 months shouldn't warrant to be a legend at this club, in my opinion. But then I think Javier actually hits the nail on the head there when he pointed out that, you know, Isco is a Spanish wonder kid, right? He came from Malaga, like he was at the top of Spain when he came to Real Madrid, right? So like everyone had the agenda to push Isco to succeed at Real Madrid, like, you know, for the benefit of the club, for the benefit of the nation, and, you know, benefit of the player as well. So yeah, well, in my opinion, I feel like he wasn't consistent enough, you know, because that's the thing. We know he could be a world beater, and for that 15-month span, he was indeed a world beater, to be honest. But then other than that, I don't think Isco actually, you know, could perform to the levels that I at least expected of him. But then yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So like, we just have to appreciate what he has given to us. You know, even that year of the final, you know, that 16-17 was amazing, actually. So we have to give credit to that as well. Anyways, we had also the Welsh Dragon Gareth Bale move on as well, and we know we had the person who made us fall in love with defenders, at least personally for me, because I didn't get to watch Carlos, although we saw a bit of Cafu as well. But I mean, Marcelo was the guy who, you know, made me fall in love with fullbacks and defenders, to be honest. So I mean, credit to him as well, like the Brazilian as well, the captain. He left at the end of the season as well. So, but then we added Chouameni, as you guys rightly pointed out, like although at a very high cost, in my opinion. Hopefully, he might, you know, he might come to, you know, warrant his price tag as well. But then, like, eventually, we had no backup for Karim Benzema as well. So I don't know what's your take on that, Jacob? Like the lack of backup for Karim Benzema, is that a problem or lack thereof?
I mean, it remains to be seen. It is a World Cup year. Benzema is going to be playing a lot more. So unless Carlo rotates a lot, maybe put in Asensio or Hazard to close out games that we have already locked and loaded. I would say we definitely need a backup striker, but it also depends on Carlos and his rotation policy.
I see. I see. No, that's very valid. That's very valid in my opinion. So actually, one ripple effect I always feel is that like we focus so much on Kylian Mbappe that we let Erling Haaland slip through our fingers. And actually, Javier was actually pointing something very important. Maybe Javier can just retouch on that about the fact that I was actually saying like the compatibility between Erling Haaland and Karim Benzema is something that I personally would have been worried about. But Javier actually was making a very solid point. So Javier, maybe you can just take the sting on this.
Well, yeah, as we said, top players are compatible, always are compatible, And if you have a Ballon d'Or, because Karim is at that level,
Definitely.
he adapts. He used to play with one other center forward with Higuain, and then he has to serve the team with Cristiano and Bale. And
exactly.
then he has to be himself on the spotlight, and he adapts in every single season, in every single way. So bring a young center forward who's gonna be, he already is a machine.
Definitely.
He's built different. He's built to score goals. We said in the chat, I'm a huge Borussia Dortmund fan, and I watched every single game that he's played, and I was like very excited, even more than Kylian, for me personally, and to watch him go to City was a blow, because I think we lost an opportunity. 60 million for Erling Braut Haaland. It's a bargain,
Yeah.
We let them through, and as we said, it's maybe a clause that allowed us to bring him in 2 years, but it's a maybe, and it's a maybe for 100 plus million,
Yeah.
So
definitely.
we lost our chance. I think they will be compatible, but we never know.
Okay, Jacob. So when you say, are you ruining the missed opportunity there? Like, we've seen that Erling Haaland right now, as they call Goalland, has 9 goals in 5 Premier League matches. Never seen before in the EPL history. Never seen before. So are you ruining that? Like, we missed something right here? Because actually, also, although I think Javier also missed the point, in the game against Espanyol, actually, Javier was pointing to the fact that, like, there are situations whereby, for sure Haaland was there to finish those, some of the balls, and, he would have gotten himself into situations where it's just a touch and a goal, And, we had games, where in the Premier League, for example, I think last night, he had 4 touches and 2 goals in 20 minutes, Erling Haaland. So the question becomes, how do you get 2 goals from 4 touches? We remember last season, the pundits were killing Romelu Lukaku because he had 7 touches in the game, right? I mean, but if the man shows that he can get the goals, then you can't criticize his touches, right? You can't criticize his lack of presence in the team's build-up player and what is and what is not. So his job is just one goal. He has one job, and that's to score the goals. So are you ruined that we missed out on such a player waiting for someone who never came?
Obviously, it is totally missed opportunity, but I'm going to take a conservative and I'm just coming in from a different perspective. So let's look at the pros of not having Haaland out of this team. We know that Rodrigo is coming up. He didn't have a lot of opportunities last season because of his game time and his injuries. So I feel like not having Haaland is plus. We get more play time out of Rodrigo and Valverde. And I feel like having Benzema and Haaland on the same team, all of those, Benzema likes to hug the left side of the pitch. Vinny likes to have the left side of the pitch. So we could tend to become a really lopsided team on the attack, but it could work. Like Javier said, we'll never know now for sure with this team. So by the time that Haaland arrives, we might not have Benz here anymore. So yeah, totally missed opportunity.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Anyway, so moving on, we can't, talk about the transfer market without talking about the eventual departure of our Brazilian stalwart, Casemiro, in the middle of the park. For me, it came as a very, very huge surprise, actually, because I remember when the news first broke, I was like, nah, this is United, man. They can't hit the sea from the beach. They can't do shit. And the guys took away they took away our captain without the armband, man. So I don't. It was a really, really, emotional and sad period. But yeah, it is football. Eventually, we will move on one way or another, man. I mean, we moved on from Cristiano eventually, So yeah, we will move on. So and right now the player we bought earlier in the summer. I don't know if the club had foreseen that or whatever it was, but for some reason we had someone ready-made to replace Casemiro, who will at least ease the pain. So Javier, do you think Tchouaméni has done a great job so far, and what do you think the future looks like?
I think the future is bright, as Casemiro said in his goodbye. He's in good hands with. He said, I think he was referring to Florentino, but I think he sees Florentino as the Real Madrid team. We're very solid as a squad. Maybe we're disappointed as fans because we like new signings and get excited. But I think this Real Madrid transfer would be like, my impression would be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We need only one center forward and center back, and one center defensive midfield. So Tchouaméni was the best option. Yeah, and we put the amount we pay for Tchouaméni minus the amount we receive for Casemiro. I think it's a very solid transfer.
Definitely.
20 millions for a center forward. He's already a start in the lineup for France, and we watched him 2 solid games. The game against Espanyol was very, very good. That assist for Vini, I think it's a starting point what will come for us with Tchouaméni. I think it's a very good signing. I think it's a very good fit, and I love to see him play more and more.
Yeah. So I'll just read out a start date. It says that Tchouaméni has completed the most progressive carries in La Liga this season. So yeah, Jacob, what do you make of that? Casemiro who, or are you saying that we forgotten all about Casemiro and we don't know him anymore?
No, man, I've already started missing a smile after he tackles me. Gets away with it. I don't think Tchouaméni has the skills like Casemiro to get away from referees, and then I feel like losing Casemiro is going to be a bigger blow than we realize. I know we have like someone who's up and coming in Tchouaméni, but then having Casemiro on the team, it immediately raises our chance to last out a whole final or 2 legs on a hard with a hard team against City. Even like if you bring in Casemiro against a team like City, if he has one of his days where he blocks out everything and then intercepts everything, like we could have a chance to stop them from scoring. But then if you put a player who's average defensively but way more good attacking than Casemiro, it doesn't improve our chances against teams like City. But I would say we are looking on trajectory to win the La Liga again. Maybe, let's see, unless Lewandowski has a crazy season. However, in the Champions League, I feel like we'll not go that far because of not having Casemiro in the team. If we do go too far, Carlo has to really adjust his tactics, because our defense is porous. We do let in a lot of easy goals. And these young guys have to keep running and running. Even Vinny, he already does a lot of tracking back. Yeah. I'm not sure how it works without Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean, valid point. I think actually the thing is this, right? I think I don't know, but I feel like right now the style of play is now going to become more like, rather than we had Casemiro as our single pivot, someone who held everything together. It's now going to be a more collective effort, between either it's Tchouaméni and Toni Kroos, or Tchouaméni or Fede Valverde, Tchouaméni and Luka Modric, Tchouaméni and Camavinga. I think it's going to be more of an effort, a collective effort, rather than the single individual effort we had from the monster Casemiro. And I think you're very, very right. I feel like we would. I mean, right now maybe we're not really aware of what we are missing, because people like to point to the fact that Casemiro was already in decline for the past 2 seasons. What is and what is not. I feel like when the season goes on, we would eventually understand, what Casemiro actually brought to the team. And before we move on, actually, we just want to remind the audience, please, there's this football content out going on Instagram. You will find the links below in the description. Please just go to Instagram in the chat of the link there. Just at us at Let's Be Real 1902. The voting is open till September 4th. So because without you guys, we can't continue distance. So it's just right to get a bit of feedback also from the community as well. So please, if you're listening, if you're watching, wherever you are, just vote us up and and just let's get this thing done. Anyway, so moving on. Right now at the weekend, we have more pressing matters of Real Betis at the Bernabeu. So we're going to see the Bernabeu for the first time this season. And we know we've won 3 games on the spin away from home. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's a very, very, very huge feat. Like, winning your first 3 games of the season, which are all away from home. I think that's no easy feat. And that's just, set the tone for what the season is going to look like, hopefully, as Jacob rightly said out. I think like the only thing that can stop us from winning the league, in my opinion, is, a crazy Robert Lewandowski. And I don't know how motivated he is to, play this year, but we will see actually. So yeah, so I think we haven't won, or rather, I think we haven't won at home against Betis in a while. I think, we haven't won against Betis. I think at home for the last 4 games, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. I think, yeah, we haven't won against them, and actually we haven't even scored against them at home as well since 16-17 season. So this is just. So this is actually quite a game. And the thing is that they have a coach, which I think we all respect as Madridistas, Manuel Pellegrini. He's a very, very astute tactician as well, with a very good team. I think the team is spearheaded by Nabil Fekir, if I'm not mistaken as well. So it's a really, really, really good team. So Javier, what's your take on it? Like, how is Real Betis perceived in Spain? Can you just take us through it?
I mean, Betis is now top team. They just won the La Copa del Rey.
Yeah.
And we need to consider that, the last time I remember Real Betis is when they beat us in the Copa del Rey. I think it's last season. It's a very a solid squad.
Yeah.
Again, I think Canales and Juan and Borja Iglesias are Spanish material, Spanish selection material, they are very good. They are a good team. They're still trying to sign or re-sign, I think, the goalkeeper. I forgot his name. Claudio Bravo.
Bravo, yeah.
And maybe that is gonna be a little juicy for them, but I think it's a good team and a very tough match. I really like that it's the first game at the Bernabeu. I think it's gonna be an audience driven game. I think if we put ourselves in the front quick, we're gonna solve the game. But if the game goes to 60, 70 minutes with 0-0 or a tie game, again, it's gonna be another hard beating game.
Yeah, definitely.
And they are top of the league as well,
Yeah.
3 out of 3 games.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like it's a derby of the unbeaten, if you want to say. Like we have won 3 out of 3. They've also won 3 out of 3. We're the only 2 teams with the perfect record in the league. So for sure, one of this record or both of the record is going to go into the trash at the weekend. And also, the funny thing is this is like, although we haven't defeated Betis in the past 5 home games, we haven't also lost to them in 4 games in the league as well. So that's the thing. And the longest we've actually gone without winning, without losing against Betis actually is 5. So it's a very, how can I say, it's a very weird stat that okay, you haven't defeated these guys in your home for the past 4 seasons, and also you haven't lost to them as well in La Liga for the past 4 seasons as well. So actually, it's a very interesting tie. So Jacob, let's just go to you. Like, do you think, or rather, who do you think is going to lose their 100% record at this season?
I mean, what a game to like inaugurate the Bernabeu, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was just gonna go on Amazon and get a BP apparatus because I'm pretty sure this game is not going to be good for my heart. It's going to be a hard-fought game like all the others with Betis because they always come out playing against us. They have a
Definitely.
really good set of midfielders and forwards. They have a lot of strong ball carriers, which we
Exactly, man.
traditionally do struggle against, especially from our wingers and defenders. And yeah, there are a lot of players to watch out for. Juan Mi, like you said, Canales, Fekir, all of them can hurt us at any moment. But then again, like you can't doubt Real Madrid past the 60-minute mark, right? We always seem to eke out those victories. So
Yeah.
it goes as a draw till the 60th minute. I'm gonna still say Real are still gonna win it. But then, yeah, you never know with these games. We are always evenly matched with them.
I see. I see. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical about the game. I feel like it might be, one of those, scrappy 1-1 draws when, just can't just when the day it doesn't fall, the day the ball doesn't hit the back of the net and they scored and we try to equalize and we equalize late in the game and we don't have enough time to, complete the comeback and something like this, to be honest. Because I totally agree with you guys when you talk about, they have a very strong core in the midfield, with Carvalho, Canales, and Nabil Fekir. I think it's a very, very strong core. And also the attackers are also very physical people. And as we know, we and physicality in the set piece is one of the things we have a problem with. And, when you have a dead ball specialist like Nabil Fekir, like literally every corner is like, I don't know, every corner and free kick is almost like a penalty for these guys. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how we cope. And I'm not very sure, actually, to be honest. I feel I'm more on the fences. I'm just gonna say it's gonna, we're not gonna lose, but I'm not very sure about our victory in this game, to be honest.
I mean, I would take a 1-1 draw, to be honest. I would be happy with that result.
No,
I think it's gonna be 2-1 for us, and this is the thing. We receive a goal in every single game.
Definitely.
I don't like that
at all, man.
And maybe more than one, even if it wasn't for Courtois, he's in his prime. But I think we need to score at least 2. And I think it's going to be first us, then a draw. And sadly, well, not sadly, but had been a result for, I don't know, Rodrigo or Karim, 80+ screamer.
Interesting.
That's the way we like it, right?
I don't like it that way, but okay.
That's exactly, man. I mean, everyone loves that easy way out, man. We don't like it that way, but that's what they shove down our throat, and we just swallow it directly. Like there's nothing we can do. That's why we're fans. So actually, the other day I was actually saying in the group, like it's only Real that can feed me this. Like because I like to watch very good football. And like it's just unfortunate, like it's only Real that can like make me sit down through these crappy games and be like, biting your nails and what is not. I guess that's what being a fan is, because like you can just watch a good Bayern game or go to the Premier League and watch City's tiki taka or like Liverpool's shit, and you can just scroll through it without much fuss.
We are actually like the lucky ones, because imagine if you were a Man United fan.
Oh shit!
There are worse teams to look at. I feel like we're kind of in the lucky place.
I mean, man, yeah, definitely. But the thing is that one thing for us is that we always find a way to win. As you rightly pointed out, like we, as Javi also pointed out, we always have a way to win in the 60th. After the 60th, 70th minute, it seems like something awakens in our players. Like they just come to life, and that's when the urgency is there. The penetration, the efficiency, the ruthlessness, and never say never, man, till the end of the game. That's the thing about it. And it's also very fun, like but then maybe it's not good for our hearts. But I mean, the 2 goals we scored in 2 minutes against City, man, with Rodrigo, like I mean, that was one of the climax of everything, man. Like it was wow. I mean, name a better feeling, man. I don't know, at least from watching football, it's very difficult to find something better than that. But then obviously, would you prefer to win the game 2-0 in the first half? For sure, definitely. I will take that all day. But then it is what it is, man. That's the cost of supporting this club as well.
But that's the stuff of the legends, If we could move back in time and predict our matches against PSG, Chelsea, and City, we all gonna say, well, we hope Real Madrid won and move forward.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that like an easy game, no one will remember. But the
Definitely.
thing is that we won it that way, and that Champions League is gonna be always remembered. And that's the thing that Real Madrid does, builds a lot of expectation, and this is the top of the history of the comebacks. I think I no, wasn't alive, but the thing is, Real Madrid starts his legend for the comebacks in the 80s,
Yeah.
and we never keep doing that. So that's the Real Madrid way, and that's why we are specials. I love to see an 8-0 game, yeah, for sure, but once in a season. I would rather be 1-1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3 than 8-0, because it's gonna be a boring game. At least for me, I love the excitement. As
Yeah.
always, as long as we won.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even about the score lines. So we could win 4-0, but then you're damn sure like our defense will let the opposition have a really couple of good chances, and it's still gonna be an exciting game.
Yeah, for sure.
That's very valid. That's very valid. Actually, we have Yedu in the chat. Actually, he's just reaffirming what Javier is saying. Like, Real Madrid's coming clutch is football heritage. That's part of the history of Real Madrid. Like, that's what we build ourselves upon. As I said, it's stuff of legends, to be honest. So you can't take that away from that. Yeah. So a very, very, very valid point. Very valid points. Yeah. So we have also Ritwik in the chat. It says give shout out to broke Barcelona as well. So yeah, shout out to the broke guys. I mean, how broke can they be though when they're signing players left, right, and middle and center? So I mean, I don't know. That's something though. That's something. Yeah.
I think they could start with Bellerin this game against Sevilla.
Yeah. I read that earlier as well. That Bayern is going to get his contract terminated by Arsenal and he's going to move to Barcelona. I mean, that's quite interesting. With Sergio Dest also moving to Milan as well. So
I like that. I like that move, because Sergio Dest, for me, is better than Hector Bellerin at this point.
I see. Actually, I always liked Sergio Dest, actually, but I felt he made a wrong decision moving to Barcelona at first. Because if you guys could recall, when Dest was moving to Barca, he had the option of either Barcelona or Bayern Munich, and he chose Barcelona at that point in time. And in my opinion, I felt like he made the wrong choice there, because I felt like he was very young. He could have gone to the Bundesliga, and take the step from the Eredivisie, the Dutch league, to the German league, and then make the step to the, I don't know, Premier League, or eventually a bigger team in Spain as well. So, but I felt he made a very rushy or hasty rather move in joining Barcelona at such a young age, in my opinion.
It's always a mistake going to Barcelona.
I mean, yeah, you're right about that. These days, it seems like it's very, very, it's like a graveyard, for youngsters. But then, yeah, I mean, they also have, except if you're from the Barcelona team as well, because we could see like Frankie de Jong hasn't performed as we expected, but then we have Gavi, Pedri, and Nico performing wonders as well. So I mean, there is something there.
Definitely, yeah.
I have my doubts. Only I would say only Pedro for me is outstanding, because they talk about. I think it's the same thing that happens with Gavi and Nico that happens with Isco.
Yeah.
He's a Spanish guy. He's a very talented. Yes, I would allow to say not, but he's as good as they put him. I don't know for sure. Pedri for sure it is. Pedri is a top talent, but I don't see Nico and Gavi being starting for Barcelona in 2 or 3 years' time. I don't see them.
I see. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Only time will tell about this, to be honest. And as you said, to be honest, I also I have to admit as well, like right by your side, like Pedri is one hell of a footballer, to be honest. Like he's one hell of a talent. But what I actually just fear about is about what happened to the English kids as well. You can name the likes of Raheem Sterling, Marcus Rashford, and so on and so forth. They play so much when they're young, and when they hit their mid-20s, when they're supposed to peak, these players burn out. These players are unable to perform. So that's my fear actually with Pedri here, because the point is that he's played so much at such a young age. He got injured, serious injuries upon serious injuries, and yeah, let's see how it goes for him this season, man. Like, I mean, we're all football fans, so eventually we want to watch beautiful talents, blossom.
Guys, I'm hearing a lot of Pedri praise. So I'm going to ask you a question. Would you swap Pedri for Camavinga?
No.
I mean, those are two different players, though, man. Nah, I mean, nah, man. Camavinga, what? Nah, no way, man.
Yeah, no
Camavinga
way.
won us the Champions League, man. Camavinga won us the Champions League. Don't do that to my guy, man.
No.
Don't do that, man.
Farouk said that there are two different players, and even if they're the same position and say, I will say no, because what lack of Pedri is the physicality that Eduardo has.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I wouldn't trade Pedri for any of our centers, but maybe I think it's the best player in Barcelona squad, in my opinion.
But
If
over
I could
Lewandowski?
trade, yeah, we have to consider the age. I wouldn't trade Lewandowski for anyone at Real Madrid, but I would trade Pedri because he's a youngster. But yeah, Lewandowski is a good player, but I think I would rather have Pedri. In this time, I have to be so minded.
I mean, it was just a couple of months back that he was just banging in goals with Bayern. So I don't think anything's changed.
I mean, having a fully fit and motivated Ousmane Dembele, I think Dembele might be the best player in La Liga itself, not even in Barcelona. A fully fit and motivated Dembele. That's the thing. It's a caveat that comes with him being fully motivated. I think you're a Borussia Dortmund fan, Javier, so you've seen this guy. I mean, when this guy was playing with Thomas Tuchel, man, this guy was a monster. To be honest, and he came to even you can see in flashes at Barcelona as well, we haven't seen it for an extended period of time. But I mean, if Dembele is motivated, man, I mean, the guy can be a monster, to be honest.
Yeah, just like we said, when Dembele was there and played with Royce, I think it was one of the best partnerships. And just imagine if Haaland was there at that time.
Exactly.
There will be the best lineup of forwards in the world. Yeah, Dembele is good, but I don't see him better than Vini. We haven't seen Vini's top, and yeah. I think Borussia's Dembele was the best Dembele of all, and the best Dembele is not better than this current Vini.
Yeah,
Vini's top, I said it again, he's gonna win the Ballon d'Or for sure. I don't know if 24, 25, 26, but I think he's gonna be a Ballon d'Or winner. His talent is outstanding.
Javier, to be honest, though, like, I get totally what you're saying, you understand, because the best we've seen from Dembele so far is what we've seen at Borussia Dortmund. And to be honest, he's nowhere near the level Vini is operating at right now. And we know the ceiling is still, Vini has not hit the ceiling yet. But in my personal opinion, we also haven't seen the best of Dembele. But the question is now this: can you see the best of Dembele? I don't think so, because I think that Dembele is past it right now. He's no longer that young, hungry player, you understand? I feel like the motivation is lacking. Right now, even whatever he does, he's just, doing, because I was really, when he came to Barcelona, I was really on Bartomeu's case as well. Like, man, when he was saying like this guy was better than Mbappe, I was like, okay, he might not be better than Mbappe, but he can be in the same bracket as Mbappe. I was totally on board with that, to be honest. But yeah, guys, I don't know, man. Anyways, forget about, okay, so you're here saying that Dembele had more hype than Haaland at his age. Sardi's never worked out too. Yeah, that's it. Like, it just didn't work out, So that's the thing, like, talent and hard work has to come together to bring something out of it. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna put this to you guys. How do you guys see the season going, like, with the rotations? Because I think we have 9 games in October. I'm not sure we have to play all the group stages before the mid of November, before the World Cup start. So what do you guys think? I will just ask you guys, especially about Karim Benzema. How do you think we handle his game, his workload? Like, or rather, what would you want to see Carlo do? I mean, let's start with you, Jacob, and then we can go to Javier.
To be honest, I don't see any rotations happening for Karim Benzema. I feel like he's gonna play until he just walks off injured. That is just the Carlo and philosophy, you just play a player until they can't anymore, and then you switch out them for someone else. So, but the question remains, like, who can play instead of Karim Benzema if you want to take him off? Since you can't do it, Hazard can't do it. If we are down 1-0 or 2-0, he's not the player that you want winning matches. So, I would say, if we do end up winding up games in the first half or in the early parts of the second half, then we could see a lot of rotations for Karim Benzema. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough, long, hard season for him.
Javier, your take?
Well, I don't like to not rotate, but I think it's gonna be a very interesting part of the season. I read yesterday that we're gonna be in Madrid. At Bernabeu, and also versus Atletico, Getafe, and Rayo.
Rayo, exactly.
I think it's we're on
11 games. In the next 11 games, we have just Elche, which is a bit outside of Madrid. Yeah.
So that's gonna be able to rotate for Carlo. Everyone is gonna stay fit. I think it's even if a 2-hour plane or something like that in the Champions League, we're gonna rotate a lot more. I don't see him using Karim for the start in every game for only one reason. Karim is gonna ask him to reserve a little bit for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Not because Carlo wants, because Karim asks him.
I see.
And I think it's gonna be a lot of Rodrigo starts and maybe Hazard starts.
I see.
Maybe.
I see. No, I mean, so we have Yedu here in the chat saying France crash out of the World Cup. Benzema keeps trying on all cylinder for Real. You heard it here first.
That would be the dream scenario for us.
I mean, that's a valid thing. As long as Vinicius wins the World Cup, then yeah. I mean, because to be honest, I cannot handle, the English media if England wins the World Cup. But that's the thing. So
no, it's never gonna happen anyway. So
He's not coming home. He's not coming home. No
never
way.
coming home.
So that's the thing, man. We need either France or Brazil to do something.
No, but imagine this scenario. Let's say there is a real strong Pichichi race going on in La Liga. Do you see Karim asking for more playtime from Ancelotti, even though Ancelotti feels like he has to rest?
Like, I mean, so it depends. It depends on the scenario, though. Like, for example, the point now becomes is if we're in a Champions League quarterfinals, right? I mean, Benzema has won this before. He wants to win another Champions League again. So he's gonna obviously, He's gonna obviously prioritize, the quarterfinals of the Champions League, the semi-finals of the Champions League over winning the Golden Boot, which he has already won before, actually. Because I think we talked. I don't know if we talked about this or if it was on the sub and Reddit. The fact that Benzema was given a penalty to Eden Hazard in a game, showed that like he doesn't really, at least at this point in time, he's not too focused on, being the highest goal scorer and what is not. And, Benzema's history tells us that, like, we've seen, and also even last year in the Champions League as well, like we heard Rodrigo say Benzema offered him the penalty, but he was like, nah, just, because the point is whoever scored that penalty is going to be on the papers the next morning. That was a winning goal, and he was offering Rodrigo the chance to, just to get his hat trick in such a heavy tie game. So I personally, based on at least the traits we've seen Benzema exhibit in the past, I think like that's going to be something secondary, except if we're out of the main competitions and like we're just focusing on Liga, and for sure, definitely he has all the right to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. He is the most one of the most unselfish players that has played for him.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think we can call it a day for today. It's been, I think, more than 45 minutes right now. So I think we've given our predictions before. I think we said 1-1, or I said 1-1 rather, and Javier said a 2-1. So Jacob, what's your prediction for the game?
I want to say a more negative scoreline, just to like separate myself from the pack. But then I'm gonna go for 1-1 myself.
Okay. All right, then we have 2 draws and one more bold person from Javier. I mean, seeing Javier's ball, at least we can understand why he's so bold. The man wakes, breathes, sleeps, eats Real Madrid, man. So nothing short of a victory, man. He's that confident. Okay, people. without any further ado, let's just call it a day for today. And let's shout out to Ritwik and Yadu on the chat. Thanks for keeping us engaged. And before we go, just one last reminder that the Football Content Award for the best new content is going on. So the link to the Instagram page is in the description below. Please just click on the link, and in the chat, just to mention us at Let's Be Real 1902. And you can vote till September 4th. September 4th is the last day. Today is the 1st of September. So we still have 3 more days to go. So people please just go there and mention us as much as you can and spread the word to the good people. Let's do this.